feel like a whole brand new bitch. Is it hot? It's cold. Oh, I want to get in. I feel like a whole brand new bitch. Bust. No, seriously. After my trip from Egypt, y'all, I am feeling away. I'm feeling aligned in new ways. I'm feeling like limitless. I'm feeling like everything is possible. I am feeling like the one. Okay, the one, the two, the three, the four, the five, the whole damn number Siwa. Let's jump into the first place that I visited in Egypt. Let's talk about why it's one of my favorites, and I just want to let y'all see the enjoyment of this experience because I can't really put into words how amazing Siwa is, but I can definitely give you guys a couple of just insights on if you guys want to travel here and why you should. So stick around. Okay, first, so let's talk about the experience of Siwa, Egypt in general. I want to give you guys more of a feel of what it is to be there before I really dive into like the, more detailed aspects of actually going. So, the experience for me of Siwa was definitely a spiritual experience. It is a very authentic place, a very traditional place in Egypt or a city, opposed to a Cairo, which is more of a fast-paced city. Opposed to like a Siwa would be more like a Joshua tree if we want to compare the two. And so it was definitely a feeling, and I'm so happy that I went there first before I went into the rest of the trip, because it really like wind me down from the American energy and kind of dove me into what I was preparing myself for. So let's dive into the actual distance of where Siwa is on the map. Siwa is actually like 8 hours away from Cairo, so we had to fly into Cairo and then drive 8 hours out to Siwa. Crazy, yes. Jet lagged as a motherfucker, yes. Because I just got off the plane, a 10-hour flight to get in a car and sit for 8 more hours. It was insane, but it also made so much sense once I got there. Because I was just like, see why I love you, and I really wanted to just extend the trip there. But I had other places to go, so I didn't do that. But an amazing, amazing place to be. Met a lot of new people in Siwa. I took portraits of a friend here in Siwa. It's just such it's an interesting place because it's so traditional. In Siwa, you will see women completely covered in black, and you won't even see their eyes. And you will see a very heavy presence of men in Egypt in general, but specifically in Siwa because it is such a traditional place that it's a lot of different names for Siwa, but one of them that stood out for me is Jupiter Amun. And when you actually go to the salt pans in Siwa, you will actually feel like you're on Jupiter. So it's no Karikidi that it would be Jupiter Amun. So Amun means the hidden. So Jupiter hidden. I'm not surprised that that's one of the names for Siwa. Like it makes complete motherfucking sense. Like it's like a whole different world. It's like you're on a new planet. It's kind of like I actually want to go to Jordan, but this red sands in Jordan is supposed to look like Mars, and it's just so many magical places right here on Earth. It's insane. Aside from the distance, The Airbnb that I stayed at was absolutely beautiful. It was very much boho, like, do I want to say boho? No, I'm going to say it was traditional. It was traditional Siwa. It was owned by Mohammed, a very, very, very calming human being. He was so peaceful and just very, very kind. Everyone I met in Egypt was very, very kind. I did not have a bad experience at all, um, except we will get into the more, uh, I wouldn't say bad experience. I understand why they are the way they are, but I am going to talk about more of the demanding energy that I did run into in Egypt, because it is there. It is definitely there, and it's where you would least expect it to be. So stick around for the rest of my videos, because I will be explaining that. As far as like the masculine energy and the male presence that is there, because it is heavily men. If you travel to Egypt, you're going to be surrounded by a lot of masculine energy. I did not feel uncomfortable. I did not feel out of place. I did not feel as if I was a piece of meat, as people would say, because I have seen other videos where women have felt, but they were also traveling by themselves. I was with my friend, and I don't know if it was because it was two of us and we were really cool with a local there as well who was with us, accompanied on the trip. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, but I didn't really feel like I was being all that all the time. I did feel like people were staring at me, but I felt women staring at me as well. But like I said before, it's not a lot of women that are just amongst the city or in the streets. So it's a different environment, unless you're like in Cairo or like a Luxor. However, in these more traditional places, you will see less women present. They are at home. They are taking care of the kids. It is a very, traditional type of living, unlike America where women are just everywhere. And now, who is Siwa for? In my opinion, Siwa is for the person that is looking to really rejuvenate their spirits, really into spirituality, and wants to have a different transformative experience. For me and my friend Unique, we really did have a very beautiful experience in Siwa. We're in the salt ponds, going to the salt cave, and just being in that energy in general was very transformative and just therapeutic in a sense. We really were able to meditate and really fall into our own spirits in Siwa. Even in the desert, when we went on our safari, we were able to watch the sunset and go through the Sahara Desert and be just in nature and just around those, that energy. And it was really just freeing for us. As far as the food, I think food is a very big topic for anywhere that you go. For me, I am vegan, but as far as when I travel, I like to indulge a little bit. I like to try to map out what I like, and my indulging doesn't really go that far. It's as far as the cheese, and maybe I might engage in eggs and seafood. I don't indulge in meat. And the good thing about Egypt is they eat meat there, but it's not heavily influenced like in America where it's burgers everywhere and all that kind of stuff. The meat is by choice. It's, I don't know if you guys understand or have had shawarma, chicken shawarma. I'm from Detroit, so all of these different foods that they had there were very familiar to my upbringing in Detroit, going to Coney Island, going to get, chicken pitas and all that kind of stuff. It was very Mediterranean driven anyway, so I fell right into this love for Egyptian food. I was eating falafels just about every day while I was in Egypt. Then the falafels there are chef kiss, so flavorful, full of seasoning. The rice was amazing. Just like everything I had, the potatoes, everything I ate in Egypt was amazing. The food that I had specifically in Siwa, I don't think I really engaged in a lot of food in Siwa just because we were constantly on the go and we were only there for 48 hours. But we did manage to go to a restaurant. I'll put the image in. And this restaurant was really good. I had a nice salad from this place. I think I had falafel as well from this place because this was my first meal in Egypt. So I was just really trying to map out what it was that we were, getting ourselves into. Um, and this is where I discovered that, okay, I'm going to be good here. And the meals were definitely cheap at this particular place. Um, the dollar exchange rate in Egypt in general is really, really good. A dollar in American money will go a long way in Egyptian pound. So wherever you go, you're going to be pretty good. But the only thing is you want to be able to look out for people that will overprice you because you are not from Egypt. So be mindful of like what you're paying for is actually the actual rate. Ask for menus, ask for actual written things that show what this is worth, and don't just try to negotiate with someone because they will try to upsell you on whatever it is. So things to do in Siwa, or things that we did within our 48 hours there, were we did the salt cave, we definitely did the salt ponds the next morning, and then we did the safari in the desert. And all three of those things were an absolutely amazing experience. I would not trade them for the world. Within 48 hours, that's all we could really fit into schedule, and I just think that it worked out perfectly. In the desert, and I'll show some clips of that, we actually ended the safari with, tea, which is a very Egyptian thing. They really love their tea. I found that we were drinking tea like 3 times a day, which gets me into this holistic experience of just like a different place. Like, I feel like America, the reason why it's in the shambles that it's in, and I'm going to talk about COVID too. Our diet in America is so trash compared to other countries. And you would think these countries, because of what they look like, that they're not as, equipped or have the health benefits that we have. But it's actually a lie, because they're living off the land. They're intaking the actual seeds of the land. Even there is a date tree that is like a delicacy in Siwa. I think Siwa is known for its amazing dates. No matter where we went in Egypt, we told them we went to Siwa. They were like, Siwa has amazing dates. Dates are the delicacy of the land in Egypt in general. Apparently, if you eat 3 dates a day, you're going to be strong, and I agree. When I would eat 3 dates, I would feel extremely energized, and they're known to be the fruit of the sun. And so we don't even have that concept in the States, a particular, fruit or anything that is just supposed to give us strength. And we also, there was one thing the guy that took us on the safari did, my friend Kareem, he tried to rinse off the dates off the tree with a water bottle, and he was like, just eat them straight off the tree, don't rinse them off. And even that being a sense of, the fruit and everything that we eat is grown for us, and we don't have to rinse it, we don't have to cleanse it. It's already clean, it's already good enough for us. And so, which drives me into the idea of COVID and COVID-19 in general. I guess I shouldn't say COVID in the video, I don't know how that goes, but with it being in Egypt and a lot of people being concerned about me even traveling there, when I got there, it's like it didn't even exist. And I don't know, I didn't wear a mask to the store. I didn't wear a mask outside. I didn't wear a mask in my car, and it just felt so freeing to just breathe in air. And I'm completely fine right now. I do not have COVID. I've taken tests in and out of the country. I'm completely safe, and I was completely free in that country. I didn't wear a mask, but only at the airport. Honestly, I only wore a mask at the airport. But it makes me believe that the things that they eat there and the things that they do, I'm not saying that COVID doesn't exist at all in the country, but the way of life that they live kind of makes it so that they do not get, as I was saying, my video got cut off, but the holistic approach to how Egyptians live, and I'm sure this is not just Egyptians, this is people in other countries in general, But the holistic approach, it's not even holistic. It's the way of life. And I think that's what saves them from getting specific diseases, opposed to in America, us, consuming all of these false things, these false plastics, these false meats, these false, even as far as tea and spices, their tea and spices there, they just smelled so different and just tasted so different. So Egypt was an experience. Siwa was an experience, and I recommend anybody, any Black American especially, to travel to Egypt and experience it for themselves, outside of the textbook, outside of what everyone else is telling you online. Go experience it for yourself. See if you have actual connection with the place, the land, because I know you will. And yeah, that is all I have for Siwa. This video I post will be on a beach that we went to in Egypt. This beach, absolutely beautiful. That won't be a long video because we only stayed there for a couple of hours, but I definitely want to make a video on it and show you guys the beauty that we found. So stick around for the rest of my video, the documentary that's coming as well. I really want to give you guys the feel of what I saw in Egypt, more so than just give you a bunch of information on how to get there, what to do, and all that jazz. So stick around for more videos. Master your gaze no matter where you are on earth.
You want to get back in, or you?